In Iowa, the candidates have been out on the trail. They had to be, with 2 weeks to go until the caucus on February 3rd.
Thank you.
But this is the week the trail takes a turn. It's the week impeachment intrudes on the 2020 campaign.
And raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that in all things appertaining to the trial of the impeachment of Donald John Trump, President of the United States, now pending, you will do impartial justice?
At the start of President Trump's impeachment trial in the Senate,
So help you God.
I do.
Amy Klobuchar, Bernie Sanders, and Elizabeth Warren signed this oath book, committing them to being here, and not in Iowa.
They're honestly finding out hour to hour what that means.
Dave Weigel was covering Sanders in Des Moines.
The rules that came out during this event suggest they might be stuck in D.C. for the entire day.
Tonight I'm going back to D.C., and tomorrow I will be in an impeachment trial. How long it lasts, honestly don't know. So I will not be able to be back here in Iowa as much as I would like. We're going to do the best we can. We have great surrogates. We have volunteers out knocking on doors. So you guys are going to have to carry the ball.
I mean, what can you do about it? Yeah, I mean, yes, it concerns me, but it doesn't really seem like there are lots of options right now. Personally, I think the whole thing in Washington is going to be over pretty quickly. So, yeah. I mean, that's a bump. You know, we're working on like a revolution here, right? So, yeah.
But campaigns can only do so much without their candidate.
A lot of people do wait until the final weekend to see people. They do like to check the candidates out in person. So the worry is that beyond the candidate giving a speech, that's not the important part. The important part is there might be a rally where the senator gets 200 people out the door signed up to caucus, to volunteer, and that's not going to happen if you can't make it here.
As the trial neared, the senators used the dwindling hours to make their pitch.
No one is above the law, including the President of the United States. And what better president to do that than someone that's been a lawyer?
When you have a government that works great for those with money and not so great for everyone else, that is corruption pure and simple, and we need to call it out for what it is.
Annie Linsky covers the Warren campaign.
Her closing argument to voters is corruption, and she's put out probably 10 different corruption plans so far.
On Tuesday, as the trial began, Warren released new ads in Iowa.
The Trump campaign is internally somewhat concerned about her.
They see her as a threat.
He's also a little bit nervous about Warren.
What she's doing there is trying to set up a contrast between herself and Donald Trump in this moment when so much of the country is likely going to be focused on Donald Trump and his sort of alleged corruption.
I'm going to beat him and be a president who works for you.
Warren's campaign is trying to figure out how she can be in both places.
They've got a plan for that, as her campaign likes to say. So they're going to have her, they've said that they've been looking into having her fly charter planes. And that would mean she'd finish up with the impeachment proceedings in the Senate, get on a charter plane, fly out to Iowa, do an event, maybe overnight here, and then go straight back to Washington.
Chartering planes is costly, but it may be the only option for the senators. There are few non-stop flights to Iowa, and there won't be time for connections. While the Senate deliberates, other candidates have the trail to themselves.
There are two candidates, Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg, who are polling well and do not have to return to D.C. for any reason. Andrew Yang is basically going to camp out in Iowa for the rest of the campaign through the caucus night.
On Wednesday, the 2020 race made it to the Senate floor.
Talk about the framers' worst nightmare. It's a partisan impeachment that they've delivered to your doorstep in an election year. Some of you are upset because you should be in Iowa right now. But instead we're here, and they're not ready to go. And it's outrageous. It's outrageous.
I made clear from the very beginning that I've got to do my constitutional duty. And it felt like, oh, hey, I know you guys want to be somewhere else, is what he was saying. I I literally couldn't believe he did it, only because I think that this isn't the place to play those kind of politics, and we're all there to do our duty. We're going to sit there till the very end. We're going to listen to the evidence, and as I noted, I can do two things at once. I'm a mom, and I will find one way or another to run for president.
But Klobuchar's campaign can't afford charter flights, and her surrogates are less well known. If the trial drags on, she may have the most to lose.